Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to answer a few questions that I get asked a lot through the pear series that I created over the years. And the question is, when is the best time to prune your fruit trees, pear trees, persimmon trees, and those ropes inside your videos, what are those for? So today we are going to answer those questions, and at the same time I can show you what those are. That way you can see a demonstration and what is the purpose of those ropes. And so here I have this pear tree here, and the branches were growing up like this. And so what I wanted it to do was grow outward. That way it can have a nice spread. And so that is the reason why I use the ropes. The ropes are for training the branches. And so if you tie it, make sure you have something to brace it. I didn't have any koozie left out here, so I used the leaves of of the pear tree. Okay, so here is an example of the koozie piece I mentioned. And what it does is it just acts as like a layer to protect the bark from being pulled. And so use whatever you can, something nice and soft. That way the rope doesn't, press into the bark and then creates sort of like an indentation. It's best to use larger rope. That way it doesn't cause too much of a cut into the branches or the bark. And then you just tie it to the ground, and then you pull the branches down, and then you tighten it. And then as the branch become, sort of like adjusted to that position, then you can pull it a little bit more. And so that's really the process. It's really easy to do. It's very, very cheap. Don't use those stakes that kind of push against the branches, because I've tried those and they do not work. And also they cause damage to the trunk. So those metal brace where they kind of like zigzag, don't use those on fruit trees. And so let's look at a few more. The trees here, it's good to train them when the branches are small, because if you wait until they're so big, they're gonna become very tough and it's hard to pull apart. And if you try to, it could break the branches. And so do it when they're nice and young. You see this? Because they're flimsy and stretchy and kind of like it just bends wherever you want it to go. And so that's the reason why you should do it when the branches are younger. This one here I have been trained for the past 2 years. Initially it was kind of like up like that, and I didn't want it to grow so close together, and so I pulled it apart, and now it's kind of like spreading out, looking good. And so see, I'm doing it to other trees down here. This is my Korean giant, and Korean giant has a habit of growing kind of like up, straight up. So the trees that I have at home, it grows straight up, and because the branches are so thick, and I can't train those anymore. And so it's sort of like I just have to deal with that and just have to do a lot of trimming. Okay, so here is my Korean giant, and I didn't train this tree at an early age, and then this is what happens. And so you see here, the branches kind of like split right here, and then because of the habit of the Korean giant, it just grows straight up. And look what happened. It creates, it kind of grow onto each other. See this one here? Eventually when the trunk gets larger, it's gonna grow into this trunk. And now it's too late, because this thing is massive and really thick already, so I cannot pull those apart. Same with the ones on the other side. There are 4 branches that's kind of split from the base, and you see, once they get bigger, they're gonna run into each other, which is not a good thing. And so what I'm trying to do is to fix the branches at the top. And so here I'm pulling the branches apart right here with these ropes, and that over there and that over there. So over the years it helped a little bit, because it helped spread the tree out, you see, or else it would have been all together. And Korean giants are always like that. That's just how they grow. And here's another branch of the Korean giant that I grafted. You from here, and look at that. It grows straight up. It doesn't go out or anything like that. So that's always the habit. So if you grow Korean giant, make sure you train the branches early, kind of spread them out a little bit, and not let them grow upward into each other. And so here, these branches are, much smaller and younger. And so I'm starting to train these. You see it? And it's working pretty well. It's spreading the tree out so that it doesn't, all clump together. You want airflow to get through because it prevents diseases from happening and all that stuff. And also, it's easier to treat pests and spray diseases and stuff like that if the branches are further apart. Another thing I wanted to talk about today is about trimming your tree or pruning it. And let me show you the mistakes and things that you should not do. Okay, so here is my pear tree that I purchased from one of the big box stores. And the people there, they probably didn't care about pruning. And there's so many things wrong with this tree, but it's a good price. It's the only one left, and I could fix it, so no issue. So anyway, so when you trim, you see here, or prune, you want to prune it so that the next node stays on the outside and not the inside. Because look at this here, when someone pruned right there, the node is right here, so it grows inward. You see that? And now it's going to point up and grow inward. What you want is, you see this node right here? That's pointing on the outside. And so if I want to fix this, all I have to do is cut this off, and it'll grow this node right here. Sometimes you might have to kind of like destroy another node like this, just pull it off in order to force this to grow out. And so that's usually what you want to do. You see, here's another bad example. You see, someone cut it right there, and then the node is right here. You see how it grows inward, and it creates this not desirable growth habit. So you want to cut it so that the branch on the outside, so it can grow out like that. Same with this. You see here? Here's another mistake. You see? Someone cut it right here, and the node's right here. Now it's growing inward. And so I'm going to have to get rid of this here because I don't like the way it grows. And again, here's another bad example. You see that? Someone cuts it right here, and then the node is right here. Now look at that. It looks horrible. And so I'm going to have to cut this off and force this to grow out. And so anyway, when you prune, just remember, anytime you cut, the next node is going to try to grow out. And so, if you want to prune on the side, make sure the node is on the outside. And also, get rid of these stuff. You see how it forces the branches to grow into the tree? And so, take those off when you get it home, so that it doesn't do this. So I'm gonna have to get rid of that also. But trees they're really easy to fix, and you can still cut a lot more when you get home. A lot of people, once they get it from the store, they'll cut it down all the way to here, kind of like to force the lower branches to grow. And that may be good if you if you have a small yard and you don't want trees to grow over the fence and stuff like that. So that's okay. For me, I'm growing on my property here, so I don't care how big it gets, but I do care that it doesn't grow into each other. And so this here is, I'm gonna have to get rid of this, and then once it gets bigger, I might have to pull the branches and train it also. This one here, I'm gonna get rid of. And this one here, this one looks okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna force it to grow this way, like that. So as far as when is the best time to prune, the best time to prune is when the tree sheds all of its leaves. You see, there's no leaves left, and this is towards the end of the season into the winter, because what it does is it shed all the leaves and then it becomes dormant, and that is when you should prune. The reason for that is there's no leaves left. You can see where the branches are, where they crisscross each other. It's easy to see, and then those are the ones you want to cut. Another reason is the tree is sleeping, is dormant, so it's not growing. The life juice is not running. So when you cut it, the diseases cannot spread easily because it's just sleeping. And if you wait until the springtime, the blooms are gonna come out, the trees start to wake up, and then it'll start flowing with life. When you cut, those open wounds could cause diseases to infect your trees because the trees are growing. And then also, the insects are visiting, so it could bring other diseases from other trees, and then it will land on the open wound, and then it will cause infection. So that's through my experience. I do not prune in the springtime. So also, when you prune, it is good to save some branches so that you can do grafting the next season. So if you cut these branches, put them in a Ziploc bag and just put them in your refrigerator, the cut grafts will last up to 8 months. I've used it before, 8 months, almost a year, and it still worked. And so just cut some of the branches that you don't want. Make sure they're disease-free, treat them, and all that stuff. Wash them with soap and some neem oil before you put them into the fridge. And then, see, some of these branches right here, they're as old as what the tree is. And so if you want to graft that onto another tree, they will fruit very quickly. And so when I cut all of these branches off, I don't just throw them away. I use those grafts or those cuts to graft onto other trees. You can also trade them with your friends, send them to people you know, but be careful. When you do that, you could potentially spread diseases. So that is why you should always get scions from reputable sources. That way they've been treated, they're disease-free, and they're good to go. So remember, when you trade scions, make sure to get it from a trusted source. Okay, one more thing I would recommend to people who are doing pruning, if you have lots of fruit trees, is to disinfect your shears. It is very, very important. And a lot of the new people, they may not realize this, but you can spread the diseases from one tree to the next if you don't disinfect the cutting tools. And so a lot of people use alcohol, water, or whatever mixture. What I like to do is I use Lysol right here. It's really nice and quick. All I do is I spray it on here, and then I cut my branches with that. And so when you go from one tree to the next, make sure you always disinfect. It's always best to disinfect before every cut. And that is always recommended. So after you spray it on here, make sure you rinse it off and oil it afterwards, and you're good to go. But make sure you always disinfect when you cut branches from your tree or multiple trees. So anyway, I hope that helps. Training trees is pretty easy, and also pruning is pretty easy. Just keep it simple. Make sure you know where the next node is, and gauge it that way, so that it doesn't grow into the tree. What you want is the branches to grow outward and not crisscrossing over each other. You want some good airflow, and to do that, you can just also train. So anyway, I hope that helps, and try it on your trees, and then yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.